The Hollywood Reporter, talking about how Percy Jackson and the Olympians became a show for everyone. I just had to get back into it, dive into this arc a little bit more. And unfortunately, the man that interviewing Jonathan Steinberg doesn't really have all that much really to say. He says a good amount about how he wanted to create a show that was for the younger ages and for the adults, and wanted to create a family show for everyone to come and watch, which is fine. Percy Jackson is that show, but as a fan of Percy Jackson, from when it originally was coming out, he didn't really touch on anything on the original fandom about how the story he's made doesn't really coincide with the books all that well. Yes, there's parts, there's types of characters here or there, there's arcs that they follow along roughly, but it's not the story we grew up with. Because when I was growing up, they made Percy Jackson movies and they were horrible. They had nothing really similar to the stories, but at least they had some characters that looked like what they're supposed to be. Versus there's TV show, Percy doesn't look like what he's supposed to. Annabeth definitely doesn't look like what she's supposed to. They have a little black girl playing her, and Grover absolutely not. They have a little Indian boy playing as him, but they just don't follow the show at all. But you can't blame Jonathan Steinberg for this at all. No, the blame for why the show doesn't follow along so well is the fault of the author. Yes, I know that they say down here in the article that not just the work and the materials, but in each other, it's a really good group. It's nice for everybody to feel recognized in that way. Yes, feeling recognized, sure, but you have completely disregarded the story that you're supposed to be telling on the platform of wanting to get along, be inclusive. You've disregarded everything, in my opinion, here. Now, my example of this is actually Rick Riordan himself in this Variety article all the way back in 2022 when people were having concerns and issues about how the show was being set up, and this was what Rick Riordan responded to those fans. Some of you have apparently felt offended or exasperated when your objections are called out online as racist. But I am not racist, you say. It's not racist to want an actor who is accurate to the book's descriptions of the character. Exactly. That is what we're there for. That's why we are giving you our money. We are paying you to go see the characters on the page in the screen. That's why we had such major issues with the Percy Jackson movies back in the day. That's why we were pushing so hard for another series or another movies to come out, because we wanted the authentic characters being represented in the books here in these shows. That's why I have major issues with Snape being played by Papa Indelius, who's that black man. I don't really care that the actor is black. I care that the character that he's going to be portraying is supposed to be a greasy, white, pale skin, hook-nosed figure that doesn't look anything like the actor that is going to be playing Snape in Harry Potter. And Rick Riordan doesn't seem to have any understanding of that at all, because he goes on to say, let's examine that statement. You are upset / disappointed / frustrated / angry because a black actor has been cast to play a character who is described as white in the books. You're judging her appearance for this role solely and exclusively on how she looks. Yes, that's exactly it, because we are judging it on what we love in the books. If it was a black girl in the books and you had her play as a white chick, we would have major issues. We would have an uproar. What would you do if Black Panther was played by a white British man? Like, what would you do? Like, that's the same thing that's going on here. But no, because we swapped it with a black character, with a black actor, it's A-okay now. Because he goes on saying, she is a black girl playing someone who was described in the books as whites. Friends, that is racism. Rick Riordan, you have no idea what actual racism is. You have no idea why we care for the books. And you have no idea what damage you've done to the franchise with your statements. Now, yes, the show has gone on and has done somewhat well for Disney Plus, but let's be honest here, there's no real breakout success on Disney Plus except for The Mandalorian. Even this show, although it has done well in the ratings, it has not done as well as it could because it has discarded the fans of the original series. Yes, Rick Riordan has gone and made several other books within the Percy Jackson universe, and let's be honest, they have become DEI woke pieces of garbage that aren't worth reading. I could only get through Apollo's Trials. That was the last straw for me. Otherwise, it's just a whole bunch of woke garbage. Rick Riordan has lost his edge, and the fact that he's willing to go back to his work and redo it, bring it to a new perspective, is admirable in a sense for wanting to stay fresh, but is also pretty much a kick in the balls for someone who's absolutely loved Percy Jackson since he was a kid. I have all the books here on my bookshelf along with the collector's edition. Like, I deeply have a love for Percy Jackson that it just hurts to see that the author doesn't care for you at all. And from what I've seen in the original, I shouldn't say original, but from what I saw on the series, it just goes to show that he did not care for you at all. Yes, bits and pieces were fine here and there, but if you look at the show, what's supposed to be is a far cry. Now, maybe I am going a little too harsh on here. Maybe I am the one that's wrong. I want to hear your guys' thoughts down in the comments below. Was I a little bit too harsh on Rick? Was he right on making the characters black, and I should just accept this, which I doubt, but I want to hear what you guys gotta say. Leave a like if you liked the video, leave a dislike if you didn't. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you later. You'll take now. Bye.